Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watching for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shai. And the topic of this cold cut is don't give your strength to women. And this is really only for the men, right? Now, women could watch this and be edified too, but this is really directed towards men because the Lord said in the book of Proverbs, although women are going to be delivered too, and children are going to be delivered, even babies and sucklings are going to be delivered, right, in these last days. But this is what the Lord said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. So the Most High is really calling men, right? Why? Because the 144,000 are going to be men. If you just watch the previous code cut about the elect, you'll find out that the 144,000 are going to be all men. So the Lord is calling men because that's how you govern a nation, right? It's not a society like in America where you have, all you got one woman judge, you got women ruling over man, and women shall compass a man, and you got women leaders set up over man. Look, that's not how the Most High operates on any level. The Lord said, I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Right? So the head of the woman is going to be the man. So the Lord is dictating his Bible really for men, and not just any man. It's really, really for the prophets. All right. Now, if you go to the book of Ezekiel 34 and 31, right? Ezekiel chapter 34 and 31. It reads, bear with me 1 second. Ezekiel chapter 34 and 31. And yea, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men, and I am your God, said the Lord. So his flock are going to be men. Those are the men that are going to put the nations in captivity, that are going to judge the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 apostles were all men, right? Although you have women that followed the Lord has set up men over them, right? Now, if you go to the book of Isaiah chapter 46 and 8, right? Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 8, and it reads, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to your mind, O ye transgressors. So like I said, the topic of this cold cut is don't give your strength unto women. You have to show yourself as a man. Or you can't be a man, that what they call it in the world, they call it being whipped. They call it, I gotta have this woman. You always gotta have a woman up under you. You always gotta, you're missing camp because your woman don't want you to go teach. Your woman wants you to do this. She's saying this to you, and you over there following your woman. And look, you're supposed to be the man, and you're supposed to govern your household in order, right? You can't give your strength unto women. When I say your strength, what the Bible says your strength, we're going to bring it out in Proverbs. It means your substance and your soul and your desire to the point where you put this woman over the Most High and over integrity and common sense. That's what it means when you give your strength unto a woman. Let's get that in Proverbs chapter 31, right? And that's like a thing of the world, man. You got these songs, baby, come back. You could blame it all on me. And you got Jake crying and, all the crying. Look, all of that. Look, you can't do that, man. All right. You can't do that. All right. You got to be a man about this thing. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31. All right. Proverbs chapter 31 and 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So you can't give your strength unto women. Don't give the woman power over you, right? You got the woman. A lot of women tell you in Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 26, they like to deal with mind games, right? There's always a game with a woman. There's always how they're going to control you or try to conquer you. Once a woman, they conquer you or they get over on you, they got you. Then they go on to the next man. It's all a game to a woman, right? It's all a form of manipulation and tactics, right? That's why in Ecclesiastes it tell you that, right? And this is not directed towards righteous women, right, that are keeping the commandments and believe. This is going into women that are not, obviously. So got to put the disclaimer out there. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 26. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So Solomon said, what's more bitter than death is the woman, and a man that has had ups and downs and arguments and tribulations and trials and error with women, you'll find like, man, a woman they get you heated. You know, a woman could get you out the spirit. You know, you may find yourself getting emotional. You know, you may find yourself losing yourself basically to try to get a woman. And Jake, they'll do that, man. Even in the truth, Jake, they'll stop keeping a Sabbath because they want to take this woman out on a date. This is my only chance. I gotta get her. I gotta get this woman. Look, brother, that's giving your strength into women, right? Look, I had to give her my debit card. Here's my bank account. Here, just get what you want, right? That's giving your strength into women. Here, let me just close the Bible. All right, and I'm not gonna do no videos for the week. I'm gonna just hang out. We're gonna go on vacation. That's giving your strength into women. Look, I'm not gonna go to camp today. We're just gonna go to the movies. That's giving your strength into women. You don't do that. You don't put women over the Most High, right? This comes first, and this is your real woman. Your real woman is wisdom, right? That's all, and I'm gonna bring that out too through the Spirit. Your real woman is supposed to be this knowledge, and you're supposed to be espoused to this woman, and this woman shows herself to the men that seek her out. You got Jake seeking out these women, and they stalking them online and doing all of this diligent research to get their number and to find out where they live. And look, you should be doing it, applying that same energy that you do, try to get women of the world or whatever to getting this woman to be with you, man. And this woman is his knowledge. But I'm going to bring that out too through the Spirit, most high willing. But let's get back to Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. Talking about her mind. It's snares, meaning she like to play games, want to trap you up, right? And nets, meaning you being captive. You catch somebody in a net, you're being conquered, right? You're going to be taken into captivity. And these women, they'll put you in captivity mentally, man. They'll have you following them. Women that have you buying stuff off for the woman, you losing all of your money. All of your time is going to the woman to please her and make her happy. Look, she putting certain things on a pedestal, so you got to be like, man, I got to get that. So I'm going to just do what I got to do. Well, I forget these fringes. She gonna think these fringes look dumb. I ain't wearing no fringes when I go out with my woman. That's going off, man. Right? So that's that woman she want to play. It's all manipulation and games and tactics. You got to be a man and be like, look, I'm not going for that. Right? This is a wake up call for men that are finding themselves giving their strength unto women and putting a woman over the Most High and over Yahweh Shai and these words in his book. Right? The Lord is looking for men. He's raising up an army of men. These are the men that are going to govern the earth in righteousness. Right? So it says, whose heart is snares and nets, and their hands as bands, meaning like manacles. They trap you up. That's why you got these jakes. They just simply following the women. Man, we see that at camp all the time, man. We call our brothers, hey, brother, you got a minute. Brother don't say nothing, got his head down. And then a woman, no, we don't have a minute. Nigga. And then they'll keep it moving. Brother, you got a minute. No, he don't have a minute. And then, look, we're not even talking to you. But the woman shall compass the man. A woman has taken the place of the man. Man has become effeminate, emasculated in this society. All of them damn near homosexuals. Not a woman is over them. Right? She trapped them up. Right? It says, whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her. So if you're a man that pleases the Most High, you one of those elect men, and the Lord has created you to do his will, you keeping the commandments and the faith, the Lord is going to get you out of a situation from a wicked woman, right? If you got a wicked ass woman, maybe a woman, she out here just doing her, she out here being a whore, out here being a hoe, she out here committing adultery, your woman is out here talking to every man, she's not shamefaced. That's a wicked woman. If you're a man that pleases the Most High, the Lord is going to be like, hold on now, whoa, I can't have my servant with this woman. Let me get him out of that. That's what the Most High is saying. It says, whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her. And you escape. When you escape, that means you barely made it out, man. Like danger, right? You escaped the net. You escaped the snares. You escaped all of them traps that the woman was coming to conquer you with, right? It says, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So the sinner, the wicked man, he's going to be stuck with that woman. Then he's going to be grieved to his whole life. Then he's going to be stressed out and like, man, I got to deal with this woman. And like the Lord said in Sirach, when she sighed, everybody going to hear it and the enemy's going to flee. That's the type of woman that's going to have a sinner. But a man that's righteous, the Lord's going to be like, hold on now. I see, what she's doing and what she's coming with. You can't be with her. Because look, she gonna bring you down. I'm gonna separate you from her. And the man and the Most High give you more righteous women. He may give you more than one. He may, the Lord looks out for his servants. All right. Let's go to First Ezra, the 4th chapter. So Jake, don't give your strength unto women. You may find yourself in a situation where you're like, man, I gotta get this woman, and I'm gonna risk it all. I know she got a man, but I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. That's going off. All right, that is completely going off, and that's how men get put to death, right? And that's how you get a reprobate mind. You do things inconvenient, and those are heavy sins, and sins punish. You got regular sins like lying, even though it's all the wages of sin is death. But in the law, you have sins punishable by death, and you have sins where you could bring a sacrifice or restore or make reconciliation. Sins like theft, sins like lying, and you dig a ditch, you didn't cover the ditch up, or certain things like that would be sins. But those wasn't punishable by death. Sins punishable by death is murder, breaking the Sabbath, adultery, being a man stealer, you stealing men. That's all sins punishable by death. So Jake, you gotta be circumspect, man. Right? Talking about I gotta do what it takes to get this woman. No, you gotta get this knowledge first, man. The Lord says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you." How shall I deal with? There's nothing wrong with having a woman, but you gotta really think about it, man. Paul didn't deal with a woman, and he was doing he was diligent, on fire. Was Yahweh walking around getting all of the women? He could have read their minds and did some powers and miracles that had all of the women. No, he was doing the work of the Most High. His mind was fixated on finishing the Father's business. Your mind should be fixated on doing the Father's business, and all that stuff will come in due season. All of the, I gotta have a. All of that will come in the kingdom of heaven, right? So put the Most High first, on all the time. If you don't put the Most High first, he will start jacking you up and judging you, man. So let's go to First Ezra, chapter 4 and 13. So this is the competition, right, between these 3 men, Zerubbabel and 2 heathen, to convince the king on what's strongest. And whoever persuaded the king on what they thought was the strongest, that would be called the king's cousin and receive gifts from the king, I believe, when you go into this chapter, or the 3rd chapter too. So this First Ezra chapter 4 and 13. This is a Judite, Zerubbabel, which is the governor, which is really supposed to be the king, telling the king what's strongest. The competition between wine, women, and it's the king, woman, and I believe it's wine, right? The king, woman, and wine. And then the truth is the strongest out of all of them. He's going to explain why the woman is strongest than the king and stronger than wine. First Ezra chapter 4 and 13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, is it not the great king, nor the multitude of men? Neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it that ruleth them, or who hath lordship over them? Are they not women? Meaning the women, look, they're the strongest. It's going to tell you why. Verse 15. Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by the sea and land, meaning women give birth to all men. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyard from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women men cannot be. Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, and or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? Right, Jake, they'll give all of their substance to a woman. Jake could work 2 jobs just to buy a woman a Gucci purse, 3 jobs just to buy her some red bottom heels, right? So Jake, they'll do those things, man. They'll work and do all of this wild endeavor just to bring their woman something that's materialistic, right? Verse 20. A man leaveth his own father and that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. You can't don't let a woman have dominion over you, right? Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, right? And to sail upon a sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. So Jake, they'll steal for a woman. They'll rob stores. They'll rob their brother. Jake's in the truth. You rob Most High of his time to deal with other things to give it to your woman. You stealing time the Lord brought you in this knowledge and grace to repent and learn, and you stealing that time and giving it to the women. Right? Verse 26. Here's the point. Verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and have sinned for women. And you cannot be one of those men. You can't run out of your wits for women. Jake, you start bugging out. You start losing your mind. Man, I don't know, man. I gotta have this woman, man. I gotta get this woman, man. I don't know, man. You sitting up there, you rolling around on the floor. You don't take no showers no more. You stop eating all the time. You don't leave the house. You running out of your wits for women. You drawing up schemes and plans on how to get her back. That is going off, right? Don't let a woman have so much dominion over you to where these spirits start getting to you, man. Where demons start maybe trying to get to you and vex you, right? It says, many have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Now, excuse the language, but they call it in a word, they call it pussy whipped, right? They call it whipped. And now you have lost all manner of integrity and honor as a man to do whatever the woman say. If she say jump, you say how high. She say, come here, nigga. And you go follow her, right? She say, sit down, shut up, come here. And then you're okay. And you just follow her and you just going through the motions. Now you became a servant to this woman, right? You have put this woman on such a level to where you haven't forgot that you're a man of the Most High, an Israelite, a king, a God on the earth, right? A prince of the power from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So it says, many have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. So certain Jakes, they sinned just to get a woman. They have erred and stumbled in judgment and didn't regard the Bible just to deal with a woman and perished. You can't be those men. Those are weak men. Those are feeble men. You have to be a man of the Most High, right? And I'm going to go through these precepts about how these men fell by women. And it wasn't ordinary men. These were kings, mighty men, men of renown, heads of thousands of the tribes of Israel, man. So let's go to the book of Nehemiah 13 and 25, right? Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 25. So this is a wake-up call for you, Jake. A lot of Jakes, they losing, they depressed, they losing sleep at night. You gotta get it together, right? Nehemiah chapter 13 and 25. It says, and I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take your daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. So meaning, look, don't have these heathen marry your sons, and don't give your daughters to these heathen sons. It's going to tell you why. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish woman cause to sin. So Solomon was dealing with these women, and he erred in sin because he started doing the works of the gods of these heathen women, man. He was building altars for the women, building the groves and sacrificing to their gods. And that's what Jake do, man. Jake, they'll lead the truth and deal with a woman, and they start going and following her mind, right? Doing what pleases her. There's nothing wrong with pleasing your woman, but when it comes to putting things above the Most High, you can't do with that. As King Solomon, he had all of the wisdom. He knew everything. But what caused him to go off? It wasn't riches and wealth, right? It was the women. The women caused King Solomon to go off, and King Solomon knew everything, right? And that shows you that you can't be like King Solomon when it comes to that. When it comes to dealing with women, you can't put these women and have them take you away from the Most High on any level. If you want to read, man. Don't be up here distracted and look, I gotta call my woman. Oh, all right, I gotta go on a date with my. Look, if you gotta do the work of the Most High, do the work of the Most High. Right? This shouldn't even be an inclination of your mind. And should I put her first or should I put them? Anytime you had that thought in your mind, you almost finished. You got to, you got to get your mind right. You got to get it together. Right? You got to remember who you are. All right. Let's go to the book of what I got written down. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17 and 17. Right? I got about 10 precepts written down. Deuteronomy chapter 17 and 17. So this is a wake up call, like I said earlier, man. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 17 and 17. Now this goes into how the king is supposed to conduct himself. It says, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. So the king can't multiply wives to himself. Now, King David had multiple wives, but when you go into multiplying wives, you're going into what King Solomon had. To the point where all of these women, they all in your ear. They all want something different from you. And now you got to deal with these women. You got to cater to them, spend time with them. You got to please them. The woman may want you to, watch a movie with her, take out to eat. If you got all of these women, man, your mind is not going to be focused on the Lord. They're going to turn away your heart from the Lord, right? Because you got to deal with them on any level, whether it's a physical level, whether you got to emotionally attach yourself to these women. You got to physically spend time with these women. Dealing with women is going to, or multiple women is going to take you away from the Most High, right? And that's why I brought up the example of Yahushua and Paul, who set the pure foundation and example of how to be a servant of the Heavenly Father, and they wasn't dealing with women. Now it's not a sin to deal with women, but Paul said I would that men even was as such as myself, because Paul knew that. Look, I'm doing the work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I'm waking up Israel. I got the kingdom of heaven coming. I get that in due season. But Paul had a different mind than a lot of brothers have, man. Not every brother is able to receive what Paul, the spirit of Paul came in, or the spirit of Yahushua. Those are heavy spirits, man. All right. So let's go to the book of Sirach chapter 9. Right. Ecclesiasticus, the 9th chapter and the 2nd verse. And it reads, give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. And Jake, they'll do that. You'll give your soul to a woman. Next thing you know, when your direct deposit come in, you give all of your money to your woman, and now you ask your woman, can I borrow $20? And she got your debit card, she got your bank card, she got your routing number, she got all the information. She hold on to your wallet now. Then you gotta ask her, can I borrow some money? That's giving all of your soul to a woman, and now you gave her authority over even your physical substance, your spiritual substance, right? To the point where you are bugged out in your mind over a woman. You let her have dominion over you, man, on a mental level and on a physical level. Even it could be on a financial level, right? The Lord said in Sirach chapter 33, all right, let's get this precept. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and 19. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest to repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. So a lot of people, they'll give people power over them. Basically, you become, what's the word they say in the world? They say you sonning me. They say that, look, you're trying to son me. And when you son somebody, basically, you have become in a position where you have to cater to their needs, and you became base, and now that person's over you. They're telling you what to do and how to do it, and you can't do that, man. You can't be a man like that. How you going to let your son have power over you, or your woman have power over you? And the Lord said, let's read on. Sirach chapter 33 and 20. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any. So don't give yourself over to, as long as you live. Look, you better remember that you got to get your own, right? You got to work out your own salvation. You got to give and take and sanctify thy soul, right? Verse 22. And all thy works keep to thyself the preeminence, and leave not a stain in thy honor. So as a man, and everything you do, even dealing with women, you keep to yourself the preeminence, right? You don't, a lot of women, not to take it there, but they want validation. They want you to They want to know that they have conquered you. I'll put it like that. That they have dominion over you. Right? No. Look, you keep to yourself the preeminence. Look, I'm an Israelite. I'm not compromising. I'm doing the work. Either you with it or you not. All right? I gotta read. I gotta study. Look, don't let no woman look. Just close the Bible for a minute and come here. I want to show you something. That's going off. All right? Don't give yourself over to any. Keep it to yourself the preeminence. Have a sense of integrity, man. Preeminence, not necessarily pride, but put yourself on a pedestal when it comes to dealing with women, man. And the work of the Most High, first and foremost. All right, let's go to the book of, let's keep reading. In Sirach 9, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and 3. Meet not with a harlot. It's like a meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snare. So don't be out here just meeting with harlots and whores, man. Right? You could tell a woman by how she dressed and how she looked and her actions that that's a harlot and a whore. Don't meet with her. Right? Or you're going to fall into her snares. She's going to trap you up and you're going to get destroyed. Verse 4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Right? So look, you got a woman that sing like Anita Baker and Sade, Erykah Badu. You like, damn, man, and she can sing. And look, no, you gotta remember, you gotta wake up. Like, look, hold on now, that could be a trap. Right? Let me prove her first. Let me just not be with her because she can sing. Or you'll be taken with her attempts, because a woman, they'll try to sing you and seduce you, like what is that? In ancient Greece, a siren, right? They'll call you and seduce you through their songs. Verse 5. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. Because Jake, they deal with prostitutes, man, and they spend up all their money and they can't pay their rent because they spent it on prostitutes. Verse 7. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, and herewith love is kindled as a fire. So sometimes you see a beautiful woman, you just gotta be like, look, I'm going this way. Because if you end up looking too long, you're like, damn, man, I gotta go talk to her, man. I gotta do this. Maybe I can make her my wife. Look, and you don't even know her, and really she a devil on the inside, right? Really, she got the spirit of Satan in her, right? She into worshiping the demons and orbs, and she believe in rocks and all of this different mysticism. And then you end up just talking to her because she was beautiful. Well, the Lord said, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. So if you're going to deal with a woman, make sure that she fear the Lord. All right? It says, many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. Right? Look at King David. We're going to go into that in 1 Samuel, the 11th chapter. Was that 2 Samuel? 2 Samuel 11. And herewith love is kindled as a fire. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. So don't be drinking with another man's wife, because you're going to end up committing adultery and sin, and you're going to get put to death. And it may not be today, but it may be like a week or 2 weeks. You never know what the judgment of the Most High is going to be on you and when it shall be. Right? But you did this thing, so that's according to the will of the Most High. Let's go to Proverbs 6 and 23. Right? And that's you can't be out here sitting with another man's wife. That is completely going off. Or you gotta treat your brother the way that you want to be treated. Proverbs, and that's just wisdom, right? Proverbs chapter 6 and 23. And it reads, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. So don't just lust after her in your mind, man. I gotta have her, man. I like the way she look. I like her smile. That's lusting after her physical appearance in your mind. And she may take you with her eyelids, right? But verse 26, for by means of a whorish woman is a man brought to a piece of bread. Man, look, man, you look, a whorish woman that get you, man. Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, just told you that. Through snares of manipulation and traps, and now you destitute just to be with a woman. That's what it means, you brought to a piece of bread. You became nothing just to deal with a woman. Right? Let's go to the book of 2 Samuel 11. Let's get some examples about mighty men going off. Let's see King David gave his strength to a woman, right? 2 Samuel 11:1. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah, but David tarried still at Jerusalem. So David wasn't doing the work, right? David could have went to war. David could have did his thing, but he said, I'm going to sit back, right? I'm tarrying in Jerusalem. And David was known for going to war. So let's see what happened when David wasn't doing the work of the Most High, right? Same thing can happen to you. You could be not doing the work of the Most High. Now you find yourself in a situation that you could have been avoiding if you was doing the work of the Most High. But let's read. It says, and it came to pass and at eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon, right? And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? So this is a wife of one of David's mighty men, right? This is somebody else's wife. Let's see what David did. And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. So David ended up getting another man's wife pregnant because she was beautiful to look upon. You can't be like King David in that situation, right? You may see another man's wife and you got to keep it moving. You shouldn't, the Lord said in Sirach, you should be ashamed to gaze upon another man's wife, to even look at another man's wife, to make eye contact with another man's wife. You should be utterly ashamed to do so. And that's a wise man thinks like that. A fool falls through destruction and sin, right? And that's what King David, he became a fool and he sinned and erred for women, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, right? Look, what greater account than Genesis, the 3rd chapter, between Adam and his wife? Genesis chapter 3 and 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So what Eve did, she saw this philosophy and what can come with it, and the idolatry dealing with astrology. She said, damn, that's deep. And she learned it from this spiritual demon, well, not the spiritual demon, but from a spirit inside of this ancient Canaanite nation, if you can understand. And then she learned that philosophy and brought it to her husband, and then he applied that philosophy, and they found out what evil was. And therefore all men died because of the woman was weak and was deceived and brought it to the man. The man was weaker for not checking the woman, and he got deceived. So Adam was supposed to be like, what the hell are you doing? The Most High didn't say deal with that. Adam was supposed to rebuke her. But what? Adam got weak. It don't tell you how, what really went down, but Adam got weak. He said, man, that's my woman. She probably was yelling at him. She probably said, you don't want to learn from me. And look, I won't do this for you, that, and the third. And I said, okay, just show me what you learned. Right? Just bring it out. And then she brought it out, and then Adam ran away with it, and that's how we in captivity to this day. All because of the woman. That's what the Lord said in Sirach. That's what happened when you give your soul into a woman. Right? Sirach chapter 25 and 24. It says, Slakia, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman to liberty to gad abroad. So a wicked woman, she better stay at home, because if she go out, she gonna end up doing some things she shouldn't be doing. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, meaning if she not doing how you want her, act how you want her to act, the Lord said, cut her. This what they did in the law back then. Cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go, right? And you can do that now if your woman go off in terms of fornication, right? Let's go to Judges chapter 16. Let's get another example. Judges chapter 16, and I'm not going to read this whole chapter. I kind of wanted to read the whole thing, but I'm in Joshua, Slakia. Judges chapter 16 about Samson and Delilah. All right, I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is Judges chapter. So, a quick background: David dealt with this heathen woman, right? He dealt with a heathen. We're gonna see what happened. And David's strength was with the vow that he made with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. He made a vow, and the power of that vow was the Nazarite vow, and his hair was a physical token of his strength, right? And that was his strength right there. So his hair, and when they if they could cut Samson's hair, he would lose his strength because the vow would be broken between him and the Most High, which was ultimately ordained with Manoah and his wife before Samson was born, right? And this woman was paid off to get the secrets on what made Samson strong so they could conquer Samson and destroy Israel. So she took a side deal to try to get Samson to tell her what made him so strong so she can get paid and her family could be delivered, right? And the Philistines could rule. So I'm gonna get straight to the point. Judges chapter 16 and 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee while thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. So basically, like, she's spitting so-called games. She said, how you gonna say you love me and your mind is not with me, right? Our mind isn't on one accord, right? Verse 16. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. And any man know a woman could vex you unto death, man, right? Annoy you, get under your skin, irritate you, how you want to, do some things, man. And that's what happened to Samson, right? It says that he told her all his heart. So he gave his soul to a woman and he told her everything on his mind, even what made him so strong. And said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Slakia. For I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. And he told her all of his weaknesses, right? And that's how they conquered Samson. And the point was he gave his strength unto women because he wanted to have a lustful mind and deal with these heathen women. When their parents told him, they said, don't deal with these heathen women for a reason. They said, what's wrong with the daughters of your own people? So he dealt with that heathen woman, and then he ended up getting destroyed. All right. Now let's go to I got 2 more. Let's go to Matthew chapter 19 and 9. So Jake, don't be out here giving your soul and substance to a woman. Put the Most High first. And this is the real woman. This is the real knowledge. The Lord said, let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou always ravished with her love. So you're supposed to make love to this book spiritually. Right? You're supposed to be going through the pages and highlighting and taking notes and reading and studying. You should spend a majority of your time with this woman. And like any woman that you deal with, a woman will know, like Delilah said, she said, how can you say you love me when your heart is not with me? And that's real, because wisdom, as a woman, she'll know when your mind is not with her, right? Wisdom knows that. And Sirach, the 6th chapter, says she goes about and give it to those that seek her out. So if you're not seeking out wisdom, she's going to be like any woman. Oh, he's not paying me no mind. I'm going to go to some other guy. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that, right? And that's how wisdom is, man. If you're not giving your mind unto wisdom, she'll leave you and forsake you, right? And that's the real woman you should be with, right? So you can have all of the women of the world, but if you're not dealing with this spiritual wisdom and this woman right here, then what do you truly have, right? You have vanity and vexation of spirit and things that's not going to profit you, right? So let these breasts of this woman satisfy thee with all times and be always ravished for her love, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 19 and 10. It says, his disciples said to him, if the case of the man be not so, it's like it be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. Meaning, if you could only put away your wife for fornication, meaning it's not good to marry them, because I want to put my wife away for anything. That's what they're saying. The apostle, I want to put my wife if she can't cook. If her dress don't look right, I want to put her away. But if I can only put her away for fornication, I ain't going to marry her. That's too much. That's what they're saying, right? So that's funny right there. Matthew 19:11. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. Right? Meaning certain people are created to receive what's about to be told right here. Matthew 19:12. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb. Meaning you have certain men that are born with genetical defects and genital defects where they can't reproduce children. So they're a eunuch from the womb. All right. I mean, they may be born even without a penis and testicles. And that's just how they born. So they can't deal with women. It says, and there be some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men. Meaning certain men, they were castrated, double castrated, and now they were made eunuchs of men. Now they can't deal with women. It says, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. And there are certain men that said, look, I'm going to become a eunuch for the kingdom of heaven's sake. I mean, I'm not going to deal with women. I'm going to strictly focus on the Most High for the kingdom of heaven. I want the kingdom, and I know a woman is going to distract me. Like Paul said, I would that all men were as myself. Right? But he said, if you cannot contain, let them marry, because it's better to marry than to burn. And if you marry, you didn't sin. All right. So if you really burning and you like, I gotta marry a woman, I gotta do this, then marry. It's not going off, but just understand that you're going to be worried about how to please your wife instead of pleasing strictly the Most High. All right, and that's in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. So that's pretty much what I wanted to get into. Don't let a woman separate you from the Most High. Don't give your mind and soul and substance unto women, right? Stay strong, fast, and pray, and be a man that the Most High created you to be. Whether not Kwam. Watching for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Hamashiach, Wamalak Yahushai, La'alanawa Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai, La'alanawa Kayala Shanka Tankabad, Shalom.